whatever you do in your business to build it, it's going to be a lot of hard work. Now, if anybody on the call, if you've been building your business and it's hard work, but you've had some success, put yes or amen if I'm right, and put no way if I'm wrong. If you've made a lot of money the easy way, put no way, Bill, you're crazy. You're nuts. You're just throwing your negative stuff on us. If you agree it's going to be hard work and you're committing to that, and you're just going to surrender to that, and what do I need to do to walk through walls and get it done, to put yes or amen or whatever's appropriate, or give me a thumbs up. Because one of my coaches is Grant Cardone. Grant says that even if your service or product is the best in the market and you give it away for free, it's 10 times harder than you would ever imagine to sell it. Now, the first time I said that, I just wanted to pass out like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I work as it is. Now, I don't work a lot of hours. Full disclosure, I work 40 hours a week. I block out time and I work very structured, and I don't do things during work hours. And if I do, then I make it up somewhere else. When I was younger, I worked more, but I work as intense, productive 40 hours as I can every week. But I heard Grant say that like, oh my God, I can't work anymore. I need to work smarter. That's what we're talking about today, is working smarter, not harder. So if you're up for smarter, not harder, you're on the right call. Put yes or I'm in if that's what you want to do to participate. So as what Grant said, you got to work 10 times more work to get stuff sold, but we don't have 10 times the hours, right? If you're working 40 hours a week like I am, I don't have another 360 hours a week to work. If you do, you're different than me. But what we have to do is work smarter and more productive and more effective. We're talking about how. So I'll share with you 4 years ago, approximately, I started as a real estate agent back in sales. I've been, in my generation, when you were in sales, the thought was you get promoted into management. That was a good thing, right? And in most businesses it is. In real estate, it's not. The last thing you want to do is go into management for the most part. I'm not talking about corporate executive management at a billion-dollar company. I'm talking about the local branch managers and general managers. For my money, they don't make as much as the top 10% of the agents in the office as a general rule. So there's part of the dysfunction of real estate is right there. But I went in that route, and I did that for 7, 8 years in management and consulting and coaching, recruiting, and realized I didn't like it. I went to the owner of the company and said, I just don't like this anymore. I'm not loving what I'm doing. At that time I was 60 and I don't want to do it anymore. And I didn't really have a plan. I went back into sales. I knew I could sell houses. So I started from scratch in this industry. About who here started from scratch? Somebody asked me earlier today, is this for new people? Yeah, it's for you. And those of you who need to relaunch, that's for you too. I started from scratch 4 years ago, March. So 4 years and 4 months ago. I went into a coaching program. All the leads at the time was coached by Chad Corbett. I see our current coach there online, Bruce, who's a great coach, he's with all the leads, but Chad, the coach then since left. And I think it's part the content, part was Chad. And I was just taken by the difference from where I came from in the Mike Ferry training, which was all about transactions and grinding out sales, to coming from creating value. Because I knew it was true that the money we receive is a reflection of the value we create for other people. So when somebody says, well, how do I get more business? The real question is, how do I create more value for my customers and prospective customers? That was not a question I was asking when I was in Mike Ferry. Was how can I get 40 contacts a day instead of 30 contacts a day? Right? Not more value. So I relaunched my business. I thought about probate, and Chad challenged us to go to court one day. And I went there and discovered for me a path in Los Angeles, where I was, to prospect every day by going to court. So I went to court every day. I was there at 7:45 to 10:45, 3 hours a day. I need to average 1.5 contacts as defined by name, address, phone number, and email that somebody gave me to achieve my goals. And I did that for about a year and a half from scratch, and built a great probate business. And the day COVID closed the court down, I sat here and I cried. I had worked so hard to build my business from scratch. I had 0 leads, 0 listings, 0 buyers. And a year later, I had a huge pipeline that just started closing loans, and every deal canceled because of COVID, because my deals are almost all court confirmation at that time. Not to mention the way I was getting business was completely shut down. And I did cry. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's not, I'm not proud to admit that, but it's part of life. And let's be honest here. And so I reimagine my business. What can I do? What will people need? What value can I create? And I came up with the idea of creating some online marketing. At the time, initially it was conference calls. And then a coach I had, Casey Eberhardt, challenged us to do video. And I'm talking about the reasons why. And on one of the calls, he challenged us just to do a video a day. He said, I don't care what it is, record something and put it up every day. Pick one channel, Facebook, YouTube. I picked Facebook, which in retrospect was a mistake. But every day I record something. It was stupid. It was terrible. I was embarrassed. I just did it, kept moving on. But eventually I got a little better and figured it out. And then I moved this call, which used to be a conference call format, to a video format, and started doing other videos on a daily basis. Transformed my business. I moved all my lead generation from going to court to online, primarily through YouTube. And that's what I'm going to share today is what I do. So the amount of money we receive, the wages, the profit we get is a reflection of the value we create for other people. There's three factors that go into creating value for people. There's the number of people we talk to, the quantity. There's the quality of the interaction with people, prospects or past customers or contacts in general. The quality of that relationship. And the third is the leverage. What do I mean by that? Quantity, obviously the number of people you contact. But contacts are different. There's a difference between sending out an email to somebody who doesn't ask for it versus replying to an email to somebody who's asked you a question, versus texting, which is better, versus a phone call, which is higher, versus a video, which you think is higher, versus meeting a person, which is higher yet. So a contact isn't just a contact in a certain format has different value. So there's contacts, that's the volume, the quantity side of it. The quality is where do you move the person and how well do you do it? Meaning, who here got a bunch of Happy July 4th emails from people? Anybody besides me get like 2,000 texts and emails, right? Did that make you more likely to do business with those people? I mean, I'm not against Happy July 4th emails. If you enjoy sending them, you should do them. But I don't think that that's part of a strategy to get business. The quality of that communication isn't high. So if you know in math, you can have like 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1, right? Talk to one person in an average way, quantity 1, and leverage of nothing special 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0, if you send an email out of 0 value to 50,000 people, 1 times 0 times 50,000 is what? Who knows the answer mathematically? 1 times 0 times 50,000. Anybody else besides me know that? Okay, I know I'm embarrassing some of you. 0. There you go. Winston's got it. Cheryl knows it. Very, very good. So if the quality of your content is a 0, and what if your quality of your contact is a negative? I don't want to wade into politics here, but we're all aware of various times where companies made statements that offended customers, and as a result, customers stopped buying their product or service. That's a negative contact, right? So as realtors, we don't want to do that. I've seen realtors who put out email and got fired or got negative publicity nationally. We don't want to do that. But we also be mindful of the quality of our communication. I hope you liked that video clip. If you want to see more clips from this interview, you can click here. If you want to see the whole interview, click here.